So if you haven't heard of Origami Angel, or their album Somewhere City, which is one of my favorite albums of all time, I don't know how it took me so long to find them. But I discovered them on my Spotify like Discover Weekly playlist, and I listened to the album, and then I found out that they had EPs. They have an EP called Gen 3, and each song is like written about a different Pokemon game from the third generation.
And I think that's exactly what you showed me first.
Yeah, because I was like, I listened. So it's the kind of the perfect mix of both music genres that David and I listen to, because we got the guitar. So it's a guitar player and a drummer, kind of like me and David, who like Pokemon and nerdy stuff like me and David. And the guitar player writes a lot of really interesting melodic lines, and the chords that he chooses to play throughout the song are they're just so much more full of life than like other punk bands or other bands like in that genre will write. And it's like, and then you got the drums, which are going hard every single second. Like every single hit on the drums feels like it matters. And then you have songs like Dr. Hoomst that end in like a halftime breakdown where the guitar is moving like chromatically, like dun 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 dun. And it's just like, I knew I had to show David because it was the perfect matchup. And you know, I don't know what your first impressions were, if you like loved it immediately or it kind of had to grow on you a little bit. But
I remember thinking, I listened to 666 Flags. And getting to the end of that one, and I was like, yeah, all right. Yeah, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, because they're like blast beats at the end of 666 Flags.
Yeah, the vocals were not my thing.
He's got a very specific voice, and I really should... I'm gonna look up their names, because I feel bad if we're going to talk about them on the podcast and I don't know their names.
And two guys in this band, and they're both damn good at what they do. Mm-hmm. Like Mr. Guitar Man, who will be named shortly, like he's doing rhythm and lead at the same time and singing, which I think is crazy.
Yeah, there are some songs where like he's singing really high up there and he's got fun melodies on his voice, but then he's also like playing these like Midwestern emo like tappy guitar parts that are just they're out of this world. And the guitarist's name is Ryland Hege, or Hege. I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of these names. But I remember Ryland. I think that was a name that we like heard. I might have been like, oh, so like Ryan and Ireland. That's not those aren't the. Yeah. I'm sorry, Ryland. And then the drummer, Pat Doherty. So Ryland and Pat, if you guys are listening, or watching, I don't think you are, but we went to go see you open up for the Wonder Years just like a month ago, and y'all killed it. I think.
Dude, yeah. I remember going into that show thinking that we were going to be the only two geeking out over these guys.
Yeah.
And the entire crowd is singing along to these songs. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it was nuts. And I had not been to a show. First of all, we were on the floor. Like it was a venue that didn't have like seating, or at least like seating in, you know, a majority of the venue. It was like general admission, standing room only. And we were pretty up close. Like we were pretty close to the stage the entire show. And so like we were in the mosh. David got in a mosh pit. I did not, because I'm a little baby. I can't handle that. But yeah, we were surrounded by people who were screaming the lyrics to like 24-hour Drive-Thru and the title track and all of these songs that have like big vocal parts. And we could see Ryland, like he seems like they Pat and Ryland seem like the kind of guys that like they're not doing this for like fame or recognition or whatever. Like they're just two buds like hanging out and playing music, and like they get to do that on stage. And at no point in the show were they like, put your fucking hands up, or like, come on, clap with us. It was all organic and it was all natural. And like those moments, those special crowd moments, you would see a smile come onto Ryland's face, and I was like, yeah, he's having a good time. This is great.
Yeah, and actually it wasn't until we saw them that I really started listening to them. Because I talked about Gami Gang on my video when I did my end of the year thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like at this point, yeah, both 666 Flags, Dr. Whomst, Tom Allen Oates. What's the one? It's like Ios. It starts with like it's on Gami Gang. Io something. It's a weird title that just I can't pronounce because I'm dyslexic as hell.
Well, yeah. So while you're looking that up, I think this is probably the most unexpected development in my musical journey, but also David's musical journey. Because I speaking for him, I never thought such a band would exist. Isopropyl alchemy.
Yeah, that one.
Isopropyl. I don't know. All of their song titles are like puns, or like they're really like there was
Bed
Bath and Batman Beyond.
Yeah, that one.
Bossa Nova Core was also
slays.
Also a really good song. They killed that live.
And the samples they used
Yes.
on the second album. I remember, I forget which song it is, but they sampled the Terry Crews bit where he talks about if he loves
Terry Tate.
Yeah, Terry Tate.
Yeah,
if he loves what he does.
Old,
and
what I don't know what the commercials were even for.
I don't know either, but like I haven't seen those videos in so long, and I immediately recognized. I was like, dude, that's good shit right there.
Yeah. So I think, like, for the rest of our lives, like I don't think there's gonna be a more perfect band like that kind of describes our musical tastes and our like history and liking certain things like Pokemon, video games. Like we recognize Terry Tate's voice actor from Gears of War. He played Cole. He played Coltrane in Gears of War. And so like all of these things from our past are being brought together in a way that I never expected unless it came straight from us. And so I don't know, it's kind of magical. And so like I will be listening to this album for the rest of my life. Gami Gang forever. And definitely, I don't think we have a rating for music yet.
You listen to it.
Just listen.
If we're talking about it, listen to it.
Yeah. Or at least we'll tell you why we like it, and then you make your own judgment based on that.
I still can't believe they have an entire EP dedicated to Gen 3, which is my favorite generation.
Yeah. Again, perfect. Like it could not be more perfect.